following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
To the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
Yo, I'm back from Vegas. Back from punk rock bowling. I get a chance to take a breath for a couple weeks before the rest of the Pipeman Radio Tour goes on. It's been a couple months, man. Just one after another. And of course, Vegas, I'm not going to get any sleep. So I've probably gotten like 6 hours total sleep in the whole weekend or what have you until last night. But here I am because we need to talk about punk rock bowling. We need to talk about, first of all, something really great that happened during punk rock bowling. But we have to talk about the bands, the interviews, the sets, the shenanigans, all that stuff. I also have to tell you what happened to me on my way to punk rock bowling. And we'll do that once we bring the pipe nuts on. But we also have a very special guest. So I was sitting here in the studio. I'm not in the studio a lot anymore, but my next door neighbor, she is cool as shit. Okay. Not only that, but she is a great natural medicine practitioner, acupuncturist. She has these great herbs. Okay. So I get the festival flu. If you know, you know. When you do festivals, you get that dust and you can't breathe, as you could probably hear, okay? So I just bought this from her. It's to clear up my sinuses so I can get prepared for the next festivals that are coming up. I have 2 weeks to get my nose clear. And she's going to come in here any minute, and she's going to give me a shot in the arm live on the air. On that note, let's bring on our pipe nuts. We got Studio Nut, and we have Swamp Nut. Hey, somebody's calling me from an unknown number. Should I answer it live on the air?
Oh, yes.
Let's do it. Hello, may I help you? Hello? Oh, I guess they don't want to be live on the air. They're not saying anything. But they're there because they're not hanging up.
What time it was.
Now they hung up. I got them now. Hey, Sabine, are you ready for me? But anyway, okay, so it's Sabine. She's incredible. Okay, don't tell Nicole. Okay. But I've known Sabine.
So you don't think she watches the show?
Well,
take that off.
Well, no, I told Juan that anytime I say stuff that I don't want her to hear, just mute it. Okay. So, okay. And she's from Rise Above Wellness, and she's right next door, and she's right now preparing for me a shot that she's going to do to my arm. It's actually a B12 shot. I love getting those. And funny story. Way back when I was married with kids and we're hanging out with the neighbors who are also married with kids across the street. Well, the wife across the street was a nurse. And like, I didn't drink, so they're all drinking. So my party favor is I used to have her give me a B12 shot while they drank. So that was my partying. My idea of partying is getting a B12 shot. Okay.
Now, is this just just by itself, or is that to pregame so you can not be a lightweight?
No, it's by itself, or it's pre-gaming for, like the other supplements that I'm taking. It's the warm up. It's the warm up for the other supplements. Okay.
Gotcha.
But let she's gonna tell you all about herself because I'm gonna make her. She doesn't know it yet, and
She doesn't know it yet.
but she is gonna come in and
Stop.
shoot. She's gonna come shoot me up. So let me tell you the highlight thing that I want to talk about of what happened that was bad at Punk Rock Bowling, but good also. It was good and it was bad. So a Nazi showed up to Punk Rock Bowling. If you know anything about punk rockers, they're big activists, number one. And there used to be, back in the 80s, there used to be these Nazi punks that were punks, but they were Nazis. And then there were bands like the Dead Kennedys that were totally against those bands. And that, in fact, there's a song that says Nazi punks fuck off. And that's by the Dead Kennedys. Okay. And so there was a very big Nazi. Looked like he lived on your street, Rebel.
Don't have those on my streets, thank you.
Know him?
Sounds like her type.
Do you know him? Did you perform fellatio on this
No.
dude? Okay.
She's denying
No.
Okay.
I'm not denying it. I would say it if it did, but no.
No
Rebel has become the she's not a Nazi denier. She's a sleeping with the Nazi denier. So, but anyway,
Not sleeping with Nazis.
but well, have
So
you
that means she was
performed
awake the whole
fellatio?
time.
Have you performed fellatio on Nazi?
Hold
No,
on, because she said
You-
she didn't sleep with one, but that doesn't maybe
Yeah.
she was awake the whole time.
Were you awake the whole time, Rebel? Look at her. What kind of engineer is this that can never be ready for a show technologically? Okay. She's talking. We can't hear her. We can say whatever we want now, and she can't even respond. Okay. Did you do what
I
you were
can hear
supposed to
you
do?
and I can respond.
Yeah, we knew you could hear, but you couldn't respond because you were talking. Your mouth was moving. It was quite pleasurable. Your mouth was moving. There was no noise coming out of it.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Okay, so let me tell you. Okay, so this Nazi, he was a big dude. He came into the festival wearing like a Nazi shirt. And man, the punk community there with security, like, escorted him out there. You can look up the video of it, but they got his butt out of there. He tried to stay, but it didn't work out too well for him. And thank God, because we don't need no Nazis at our music festival. That's all I got to say. Now, speaking of assholes, though, let me tell you what happened on the way to the festival.
You got yours bleached?
Well,
Sunning mud.
Oh, the
no,
sun
I was
tanning.
definitely sunning it. I got a little bit of a burn when I was in Columbus. Think of this, okay? I live in Florida. Okay, Florida at Rockville, I did not get burned. Las Vegas did not get burned. But Columbus, Ohio, Sonic Temple, I got burned. What the hell is with that? Okay.
It's global warming, and that's what that is.
Oh my God. But so here's what I was doing. Okay. So I was going to the drive up ATM to get some money because I'm going to Vegas and I needed to make a bank deposit in Vegas. I have a bank account there where I make deposits and there are no withdrawals allowed. Sometimes you can make a withdrawal, but it's a temporary withdrawal till the next time you go back, then you have to redeposit it. Okay. So I get the money out of the ATM and literally my hand is on the money, grabbing it. And the guy behind me is beeping like I'm taking too long to grab my money. And then I'm counting the money because I'm not driving away without counting the money. So he's laying on the horn. So I gave him the bird. I stuck it out the window and then I yelled out the window. I'm like, do you mind if I count my money? And then I took off. Can you guess what happened next, Rebel? Because
Did
it's
he flip
something
you
that would
back
probably
off?
happen in your state. No, he did
flip
not.
you back off? Did
No,
he get out
he
the
did
car?
not. He got out of line, the idiot that he was in such a rush, chased me down like he's in an action movie. I thought it was the cop doing it at first because he did one of those like the cops do. They race past you and then get in front of you to try to stop you. Dude, I have a Jeep Moab with mudder tires. Are you fucking kidding me? You got an Audi and you think you're going to stop me? He's lucky I was in a rush to get to the airport because I could have just drove right over his vehicle, okay? And so then he opens his window and he says, hey, if you're going to flip me off, get prepared to get your ass beat. First of all, okay, you ain't that tough and macho, asshole, and I hope you're watching this because come get it. Okay, because somebody flips you off, you think the warranted response is to beat their ass. Okay, like what kind of fucking world do we live into? Like, if I punch you, beat my ass. If I flip you off, flip me off back. Okay, that's it. Okay, you can open your mouth, shut up.
Yeah.
But I also, here's the first thing I was thinking when he drove up: what a moron! Because in the world we live in right now, like, what if I had a pew pew? Okay, like you're an idiot. If I had a pew pew, you'd be bye bye. Okay, it happened recently here in West Palm Beach. Did you know that one?
Mm-hmm.
That somebody flipped somebody off and the other person shot him. So maybe it wasn't a good idea for me to flip the dude off. Just saying. But
people are sensitive now.
Yeah. So, and then can you guess what my response to him was? Let me just first say that my normal response to somebody that said that to me is like, go fuck yourself. Or I'll unalive you right where you stand. I've been known to do that in the past, like especially with big dudes. Because when you're a little dude like me and you go to some 6'4", 400-pound dude and stand face to stomach to him and you say, I will unalive you right where you stand, they just look at you and back up because they're like, this dude must be like off his meds, man. And they get a little worried. But in this day and age, you can't do that anymore because somebody might pew pew you, and like you open your mouth and you get pew pewed, and not in a good way. Okay.
Is there a good way to get pew pewed?
Well, right?
Well, if she's hot and pew,
this is like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing. Okay. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, see? Okay. So it's a little exciting. Because, like, I mean, even as an example, I think I talked in the last show about how I had my hair done and I cheated on Bella at Rockville and she was going to hit me and I might like it. Well, I did see her so she could see in person the hair and she did hit me and I did like it. Okay. So anyway, can you get Rebel? What, you've been around me. What do you think I said to the guy or did or didn't do or didn't say?
You probably just flipped him off again and said, bring it on. Well, you wouldn't say bring it on, but you say, come on and get it.
What do you think, Juan?
Drive over his car.
Well, I think you for sure didn't have the same reaction that I had when someone flipped me off in traffic. I'm going to go ahead and say you told him to have a nice day.
You're close, actually. But what was your reaction? I want to know what your reaction was.
Okay, so this guy, apparently he was in a rush and he was trying to get around me. But you know how like when you have multiple lanes in traffic and everyone's going the same speed, they can't pass you. So he was basically like trying to push me and I wouldn't budge. So he went over. Yeah, he was like bumper to bumper with me and I wouldn't budge because I said like, like screw him. Like I'm not going to move for him, I don't have to. So he went over to the next lane and got bumper to bumper with the other guy. The other guy sped off and he got beside me and he started like, yelling out the window and he kind of like swerved into my lane a little bit, flipped me off. And what I did was I pulled out my window. I said, I love you too. I winked at him. I gave him a kiss and he sped off faster than you can imagine.
That's
he didn't want a part of it.
I love
like,
that.
Dude, like I'm just spreading positivity here. Like I know you're having a bad day. Let me like make your day.
Did you lick your lips while you were doing it?
No, I cannot pull off something that sexy.
Yes, you can.
From his point of view, he probably thought I was crazy.
I literally did say to this guy, I'm like, I'm like, I have a plane to catch. Catch me when I come back later. And I took off. You
Yeah.
know, and then on the way back, I'm like, okay, so I'm in my seat after traveling since 4 a.m. yesterday. I was traveling and I got back here at like 5 p.m. and I opened the compartment above my seat. I'm like, where the hell is my bag that I put there? Somebody moved my freaking bag.
That could be a problem.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with people these days? I just have to say that. It's What the Fuck Wednesday.
Lots
What
of
the
things.
fuck is wrong with people? Like, I would never touch somebody
Lots
else's
of
bag. I
things.
see it all the time. Like, people will move people's bags so they can put theirs there, and yeah. So they moved my bag like 10 rows forward. Nobody tells me. Oh, man. It's just stupid. People are stupid today. We need to call Sabine because she didn't come over yet. She must have gotten tied up. And I'm not there, so maybe she didn't. Okay, so we're going to call her. This is going to be funny. I'm going to call her because she's right next door, and I'm going to call her to come over. Okay, here we
Like
go.
texting in the same room.
This is better.
I know, right?
Do 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 do. Hello. Hello.
She knows you're on the air, right?
Hello, you reached the phone of Dr. Sabina Clark. I am in the moment not available to pick up the phone, but I would be delighted to give you a call back. So please leave a message or send me a text message, and as soon as I'm possible to do so, I will call or text you back. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Hey, this is Pipeman live on the air calling you. Okay, because I'm telling everybody about how great you are, and you're gonna come over and give me a shot. And so I just figured I can't move because I'm live on the air, so I can't like knock on the door. I might take something, throw it on the wall, and because you're right next door. Even the voicemail hangs up on me. Like what the? Like no respect. Like it's Rodney Dangerfield. I'm the 2.0 version. No respect. When a voicemail hangs up on you, that's that's a problem. Okay, so
Ever so slow.
punk rock bowling. Oh
Punk
my
rock
god,
bowling.
it was freaking amazing, Rebel. Oh, there she is. Look, she came. Hey, we just left you a voicemail live on the air.
Please disregard that message.
Okay, here she is, folks. You gotta get into the. Okay, she is the amazing doctor of acupuncture next door. Okay. And she does it all. I showed them before. I'm already taking this for my festival flu.
Perfect. And now the B12 comes for
Ooh.
the immune system.
Okay, which side we going?
Go here.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Okay, you get to see this live on air, folks. Hey, Pipe Nuts, get back on here so we can see your reaction. Oh, that fucking hurts, man. No, it doesn't really hurt people. I didn't even know she did it.
He
Like,
survived.
yeah, see, I didn't even flinch, right?
Not at all.
But I want to ask you something. Here, I'm going to move over.
Why does it go on your arm?
Oh, she wants to know. You can't hear her, but she wants to know, why does it go in your arm?
You can do it in the arm, in the
Give her
butt,
the microphone.
wherever you want to do it. Like it's not.
Oh, if I knew that, I would have had you do it in the butt live on the air. Shit. You always do it in the arm, man. That's more fun. Like the next music festival, Matt, you'll have to come and you'll have to do it in the butt live on the air at the music festival backstage.
I'm in. Absolutely.
Anybody that does it gets a bead.
So I have to ask you a question because we have somebody else that has a show on this station. She's in Canada. She's a doctor of acupuncture, and she sometimes co-hosts on my show.
Oh, nice.
And we talked about, I call her the butthole doctor. That's why I'm
Oh
thinking about this.
gosh.
Because one
Sorry,
show
Nicole.
she was describing butt sunning.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that?
No, I don't do that.
Okay, well, look it up. It is a real thing. It's a real thing where you're only supposed to get like 10 seconds. So people that are doing the butt sign wrong, it's gonna hurt. But you're just supposed to expose what's that called? It starts with a P. The,
Perineum.
yeah, there. You're supposed to sun it for 10 seconds.
That's kind of.
Now I have a question
Takes
for
longer
you.
just to get undressed.
I have
So
a question.
why do it?
I have a question. Look, there's your website address.
Awesome. Thank
I-
you. That's awesome.
Okay, so I have a question for you, okay? Because she was telling me she has one client that requests this. Okay, it's not something she practices. He requests because this previous acupuncturist did this, getting a needle in that same area.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't do that either.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
You don't
I don't
listen.
do
If
it.
you wanted to, peg buttholes, you'd become a proctologist, not an acupuncturist,
I agree. I absolutely agree. There are certain things I really don't want to see from everyone.
right? Have you ever heard of that though? What? Okay. Have you had
I got asked.
really? What purpose would it serve except I don't know, hurt?
Yeah, it will hurt. I think it's perverts. It's obviously like guys coming then to a female acupuncturist. Like, I don't know.
I would never think of asking an acupuncturist to do. I wouldn't even ask a massage therapist to do that. Okay. And that's the one you would think might do it for you.
Happy ending massages.
That's I don't think that's really. It's also not necessary. The points what that point treated. There are other ones around, so you can, if there would be a condition for the bladder, prostate, you can treat around. You don't need to go right there.
So I have another question. Okay, Rebel there, she runs her Louisiana studio. Okay, and where they're still racist in that state. and
Oh,
stuff.
stop it!
And okay, do you have any kind of treatment for racist Southerners?
I can poke them in the eye.
I love it.
I didn't hear her.
She
said
said
you can poke them in the
you
eye.
in the eye.
Well, I mean, it would work because you cannot be racist if you cannot see color.
See, that was brilliant. You thought of that. But in all seriousness, tell everybody everything about you.
Everything about I don't
Everything.
know, that would be a long list. No, yeah, I do the acupuncture. I do B12 shots. Obviously, NAD shots. They're very good. They're very.
Tell me about those.
It's so cool because it's like I have patients. They stopped their antidepressant because they are now taking NAD. It gives you a healthy energy. It cleans your and pushes your cell membranes really on a cellular level, helping you, treating you, making you happy, bouncing around. I got my shot this morning.
I
Okay, we
want
have
one,
questions.
and I'd probably be like a superhero, because I'm already there, so I want more.
All right, we have
Yeah.
questions for the doctor.
Absolutely.
We have.
I could use a happy shot.
Are the questions? Can you put them on the screen?
No,
No.
I just have to ask. So,
Okay, we have questions, and she's got to go back, but
all right,
they have questions for you.
do they have to be a patient in office or can they be online?
Do they have to be a patient in office, or can they be online
For what?
to do business with you? Like, let's say they don't live near here and they want some kind of online treatment.
Of course, I do consultations, but I can help for giving you like herbs and recommendations, life recommendations. But obviously, I can't put the needles through.
We haven't figured that out.
No, too bad. No.
See, comes from a Southerner.
So
See,
you
only a
can't-
Southerner would
You
ask
can't
that
order
question.
it and give it to yourself or have someone
No, you
give it to
can't
you.
order it and give it
Okay,
to yourself. You
Here's a
can't
question.
flick
So there's no
acupuncture
like
there.
Uber Eats for shots.
So 4 years for school for that, and we need over 1,000 practice hours before we get licensed. So no, I would not. No. You
I
can
would have
do it
thought they
with-
had like a Uber Eats for shots,
A what kind of shots?
like a Uber Eats, like you
Oh,
order online.
he's saying
someone
he
delivers it.
thinks he thought there was like an Uber Eats for shots.
I should invent. Yeah, we should do that.
There's an invention right there. Okay, so what's that last shot you talked about? That
NAD.
NAD. Okay, so what are there any side effects or negatives to getting that? Is there any reason somebody shouldn't get that?
No, absolutely not, because it's for your cardiovascular system. It's for you. You have it yourself. It's just declines with age. like everything. So you just can
Okay.
replenish that, and it helps you for your cognitive functions, cardiovascular, as I said, metabolism, kidney. It's really good.
I need that.
Yep.
How often should you get that?
Once a week.
Once a week? All right. So if you have time, let's do that on me too. Or if you have to go treat somebody now, I'll come. I'll come after. When are you free after for me to come over and get one of those? All right. So I'll come knock on your door. I don't like. Yeah, I don't like doing that if somebody's in there and you're treating them.
You just come in.
All right. So tell everybody how they reach out to you on socials, on the web, call you, whatever you want them to know to book appointments with you.
Perfect. Yes, you can reach me over riseaboveacupuncture.com. Also, Rise Above Acupuncture is my social media on Instagram or Facebook. And 561-818-3761 is the phone number. You can text me or call me.
Nice. So now I can do my show and rant with all my negativity and then come off the show and get the happy shot.
Absolutely. That's a good deal.
I love it. Well, thanks a lot for coming over and shooting me up. You know, I'm not a heroin addict. I'm a B12 addict.
That's a very healthy version.
Yeah, right?
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you. And there she goes.
All right. And for the audio listeners, that's riseaboveacupuncture.com with dashes in between the words.
There you go. Okay, so, I feel better already with that B12 shot. You know what freaks me out about the B12 shot, though?
What?
The next time I got to take a piss.
Why?
It will come out red.
Yeah.
What?
Because your body dispels what it doesn't need. Okay, so if you take supplements or anything like that, it uses what it uses and then it spits the rest out. So you don't, you're not ruining your body as much, as you would if you were doing heroin. That stays in your body.
Oh, I see.
So let me tell you about, speaking of heroin, okay?
We're not speaking of heroin.
Yeah, no, we are, because I learned something this weekend. Okay, so I was hanging out with Punk Rock
Heroin
Saints
addicts?
Lives. They're a charity organization. They're really, really cool. They help people with mental illness and all kinds of things. But one of the things I found that was interesting is that they actually provide Narcan to people. And do you know what that is, Rebel?
That's what they use to stop a fentanyl overdose or help save someone from a fentanyl overdose.
An overdose.
Just any kind of overdose.
Just in general, an overdose. Okay. And I found out something very interesting recently.
What's that?
Yeah. Well, because there was somebody I know that did pass away from a heroin overdose, and they actually had Narcan with them. So, because you know how addicts are. They think they have it under control.
They think they're functional.
I said this to him, and he's like, "Yeah, no, you can't use it on yourself. Somebody else has to." Meaning, by the time you need it, you're already done. You need somebody to revive you, type of thing. I guess something like that. So I would highly recommend everybody in the Louisiana area, if you're near the bayou, get yourself a can of Narcan. You might need it. Rebel,
Just wear a necklace that says Narcan left front pocket.
Yeah,
so people know where to look.
Exactly. Rebel, have you ever known anybody that has taken heroin?
Yes, I dated someone.
See, it just proved my point right there. You fell for that trap.
Yep.
I didn't fall for shit. You asked me a question, I answered. I no longer date him.
Let me tell you why I don't do heroin. Okay? Because
it's heroin?
Well, besides that, because there was a friend of mine that was doing heroin right in front of me when I was a teenager, and I watched as the needle broke off in his arm. And I watched him have to catch it as it was going through his bloodstream, because it goes straight to your heart, and push it back all the way down his arm out the hole. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
That-
and
why
that
would
is
you
the main
want to get high
reason.
that bad?
That is
never actually
why
seen
needles
someone do
should
it.
be one-time use only.
Ew.
Yeah, there you go. Like, I mean, he offered to let me use that needle after he was done with it, but no, I don't even get it because, in all honesty, I don't like getting shots ever.
You just
Why would I
willingly
like-
got one on
And
air.
it doesn't mean I like getting a shot, like, but why would I do it to myself? I never did get that. I never got inflicting that kind of pain on myself, like by getting a shot, but hey, and the thing that sucks about heroin is you only have to do
Among
it
other
once.
things.
Well, you only have to do it once, and then you could be addicted
You're
for the
hooked
rest
for
of your
life.
life.
Yep.
That's really what kind of scared me too. Like, who wants to take that chance? At least if you're, doing meth or something, maybe you could do it once and never again.
Says none of the meth addicts.
Well, that's true too. Okay. But
They did
how
one
do
of
you
them
know,
too.
Rebel? Maybe you did meth before it was called meth.
I have never ever done anything. Thank you very much, and I can do any kind of test to
Okay,
prove
I
it.
have a question for you. You've
Yeah.
never taken any kind of drug whatsoever.
Never prescription drugs that they
No,
tell you have to take.
non-prescription. Let's say non-prescription.
I have never taken any
Here's something
non-prescription
I'm going to
drugs.
say, and I
Street
say it because it's a
drugs.
big thing of mine because it's so acceptable. So, do you drink coffee?
No,
Do you drink soda?
hardly ever.
Okay. Because you do realize caffeine is a drug. It's like one of the worst drugs, actually, because it's so socially acceptable. And that's why they use caffeine in soda, because they weren't allowed to use cocaine anymore.
Is it
So
on
there's-
the Is it on a non-prescribed drug list? Is it on a street illegal
Yeah,
drug
you
list?
don't need a prescription for caffeine. You could go to Walgreens and buy Nodos.
But is it
could-
illegal?
It doesn't matter whether it's illegal. It's bad for you.
Okay,
It's
you didn't
bad
ask
for
if
you.
something was bad for me. You asked, did I ever do any drugs?
Let
No,
me tell
I
you
have
something
never.
too. Okay,
that's
so
an
I
addiction on a-
tried Nodos once. Okay,
That's
Okay.
over the counter.
I was in college, and it was finals week, and I had to stay up, so I tried Nodos one night.
No
because-
dose and Vivarin, not a good thing.
Oh, let me tell you something. That was the worst fucking feeling ever in my life. I would never do it again. Okay, I'm already high energy, so now I'm gonna pop some caffeine pills. Okay, I was shaking. My head. It was horrible. It was the worst feeling ever. I'm like, how do people do this all the time?
Now, do you think I would do good on that?
You
No.
might, yeah, because he's kind of low key, so he might.
No.
But to be honest, cocaine's a lot mellower. So if you need something to stay up, okay.
Oh my no.
What? Cocaine never made me feel like caffeine, did?
Ever drank Coca-Cola back in the day? Yeah, it probably did.
You know,
Yeah, I wasn't alive back then.
the worst that
I
happens
know.
is the cocaine's cut with baby laxative, and that really kind of sucks when that happens. Have you ever experienced that, Rebel?
No.
You become active on both ends.
Totally, right? Your nose is running, and so is your butthole.
Bad time to go
So
suntanning,
people,
right?
the pipe man's advice, do not use cocaine that's cut with baby laxative, okay?
How about not
Not a
use
good move.
cocaine?
Well, they might not listen to that, okay? I'm just
But they might.
if you're gonna do it, you have to do it the right way, okay? Here's another good one, and then we're gonna go back to punk rock bowling, okay? Can you guess what LSD is cut with when they sell LSD on the streets? Because you
Is
can
that
get
still a thing?
LSD pure. Yeah, it's still a thing. But you
Oh,
can get
God.
LSD pure, but they make more money. That's why I don't know if people realize this. The reason all drugs are cut is so that they can make more money off of you.
Of course.
You know, they even cut marijuana. Back in the day, they would put like orange peels in the bags of pot to make it weigh more. So if you
Wait a minute.
so if
Orange
you're somebody
peels?
that is a pot and said I've never smoked orange peels in my life, you are wrong. By the way, I just want to say,
Is it
if
a
you
different color?
what
Isn't marijuana green or
it
something
has
like that?
you can get marijuana with red hairs, purple hairs, you know, orange tinge. There's like different colors of marijuana,
But see,
man.
you don't even have to lie about that. You can just say like, this is a citrus blend.
Yeah, exactly. Before
And
it
then
was
it becomes
even
like a
thing.
niche,
Yeah, before it was even a thing.
You can charge
okay?
more for that.
Right, exactly. That's what the government does now.
Christ's
Now that it's legal, that's what the government does.
It becomes a new flavor.
So,
All right,
okay.
then.
So LSD, do you know what they cut that with?
No.
Okay, so first of all, they do cut it with speed, but that's not the worst part. Cyanide, arsenic. Like literally. For real, not enough to kill you.
Isn't that what they put in crack?
No. But
yeah. What do they make? Wait, they make something with rat poison. It's the same thing.
Cocaine.
What?
yeah, you're probably talking about meth when they're cooking meth.
Oh.
It's different than crack. It's a whole nother level. But
Just say no to all of it, please.
okay, and I'll
think
give
it's
you
like the
some
same
more
plant,
advice,
different part.
Rebel. I'll give you some more advice, Rebel, the next time you take some dextrolysergic dithalamide.
So what?
Dextrolysergic dithalamide.
If I can't say
LSD.
it, I'm not. Oh, LSD. No, I don't.
LSD.
No,
Okay.
thank you.
So let me give you a trick. Okay. If you're going to take LSD, make sure you
I'm
have an orange with you. Because if you eat an orange after taking LSD, it makes the colors that you see on the LSD
Oh, for
much
crying
more
out loud.
much more vibrant.
No.
Okay.
Does
People-
it have to be an orange or can it be any fruit?
No, it's definitely an orange. It's the vitamin C in the orange. It's an
right.
orange.
Ladies
nothing
and
else.
gentlemen, please don't. You don't necessarily see lights. It's not something to try to do.
Now-
Don't. He's
Now,
making it sound
Going
glamorous.
back
It's not.
to injections. Wait,
What
going
would
back
happen
to
if you mix it with a
injections.
vitamin B shot?
Oh, you're fucking feeling like the best you've ever felt in your life. Are you kidding me? No,
Stop
but
encouraging.
okay, so if you really want to get the really bright colors, okay, then you do what they did back in the 80s, and they would literally inject LSD into an orange, and you eat the orange.
Ladies and gentlemen,
is that what they call the forbidden fruit?
if you want to see colors, go get you one of those lights. That's
It's
spins
not
on
the
the
same.
Go get a
Rebel.
box of crayons.
It's not the same, Rebel. Unless
Okay,
you've
how
seen
long
it.
do the effects last?
8 hours. That's all. It's just
All right,
8 hours.
I'm gonna need a day off
Oh,
for
God.
personal reasons.
Well, no, you're gonna need 2 days off because it's
Days.
8 hours at your high, but then it takes like a day to recover because after you come down, they call it like veggie brain. Like you definitely are like veg brain. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna need 2 personal days off.
Yeah. So
I don't
in
wanna
the
say
8
why.
hours, how it works is it's like climbing the mountain. So basically, you climb up, and then around the 2-hour point, you're what's called peaking. And that's when the colors are the best, the trails are the best, the hallucinations are most realistic.
No,
you know,
and no.
and,
Just say
and-
no, babe. No.
Well, look at what happened to Just Say No. Ever
Just
since
say no.
Nancy Reagan said just say no, crack was invented, meth was invented, fentanyl was invented, Oxycontins was invented. Everything that's been horrible in the drug scene since, especially in Big Pharma, all came from this Just Say No campaign, the
Just
war
say
on drugs.
no
No.
to any of it.
No,
If
is
nature
Yeah,
didn't
Oxycontin
make
that's
really
it,
what
that bad?
happened. Yeah, because the whole drug say no thing, I'm going to call it drug say no. The whole just say no thing was you say no to a street drug so that the Reagans could make sure that the pharmaceutical companies could make all this great shit, get people high, and they make all the money instead of the drug dealers on the streets.
If nature didn't make it, don't take it. Just saying.
Well,
Well,
even with
yeah,
marijuana
yeah.
now with the dispensaries,
Yeah.
it ain't even God
Grow
made
it
anymore.
But see, that's a slippery slope, because she said if nature didn't make it, don't take it. But cocaine comes from a plant.
Yeah, exactly.
So eat the damn plant.
Even I think heroin comes from the
Mushroom.
same plant too.
No, different plant. Cocaine comes from the coca plant, and heroin, which is why it was so popular during the days of Vietnam, comes from the poppy plant.
Poppy,
That's
yeah.
why if you are on
Poppy.
probation, okay, I gotta give some more advice now. If you are on probation,
Poppy
do
seeds.
not eat poppy seed bagels. You will
Eat
test
them.
positive for heroin.
Eat
For
them.
sure.
Eat them. All you need. And bring it. Go in there eating a poppy seed bagel.
That's
Tell
the
them to eat
problem
'em
with
all
Rebel.
the time.
See, she says she doesn't do drugs, but that's the problem. That's why Rebel is the way she is. She eats a lot of poppy seeds.
I don't even have any poppy seeds. Okay.
Yeah,
And
because
she
she ate
did-
them all.
And she dips the poppy seeds into the sap of the coca leaf.
Okay, people. Those things would probably make you skinny. The only thing anybody would legally, have a smidgen of a chance is if I smoked weed, and I don't. Okay, because you get the munchies and you eat, right? That's the only one you could probably accuse me of ever doing, which I have never, and I have proof. Never, ever,
Have you ever
have I.
taken a diet pill?
Nope.
Because
You
when
got
I was
both
in
of
hi-
it? I got
when I was in high school, that's what you got high off of, diet pills. It was a big fad.
What kind of high
I'm
did they give
naturally
you?
like this. Could you imagine me on something?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I imagine it every time I talk to you.
Nothing but
Oh.
uppers with you.
Every time you ask a question like, why do they have an HIV testing sign? I don't know. Maybe because people don't want to catch HIV and they want to make sure everybody's tested. Not anybody can live in the,
Every sign they showed
in
was
this
that.
modern day Sodom and Gomorrah like you.
I know, right? Damn, they missing out.
By the way, Fearless Fabulous You was just on. She's now in New Orleans, and I gave her your address, Rebel. I hope you don't mind. She wanted to hang out with you and do some poppy seeds.
Yeah. Okay.
Juan, okay, so
We're almost
you're
out of time.
Hispanic. Have you ever smoked poppy seeds?
No, I have not.
Okay. I don't
You
think
can
any-
smoke them?
No, I don't think anybody's ever done that, but you can smoke heroin. They used to sprinkle the heroin onto the pot and smoke it back in the day.
Mm.
Before they had all these better drugs that they had now. You had
Well-
to be more innovative back in the day on getting high. Like, okay, here's some great household highs. Banana
Wait.
peels.
No, wait a
Banana
minute.
peels.
Wait a minute. Why
Nutmeg.
did you buy grapes today?
Oh, okay. I'm glad
Did you
you
want to
brought
talk about
that
all that
up.
fruit?
I am glad you brought that up. Okay. Okay. So since we're on that, okay.
Mhm.
So that's also something you can smoke to get high is grapevine,
Oh,
actually.
Jesus Christ.
You can just cut it right off and start smoking it. I learned that in summer camp, by the way.
Summer
Like,
Yeah, one of the other kids like, hey, check this out. Gets you high. And he just cut it off and started smoking.
summer
I'm like,
see, I
Like,
kind
no,
of, I
thank
kind
you.
of feel like you have to be high to make that kind of discovery.
right? You totally do. Like you just start testing what gets you high once you're high. You're like,
No.
ooh, let me try this.
All
Oh,
right.
no, that
About the
didn't work out.
grapes. About
Okay,
the
the
grapes.
grapes. Because today is not only is it National Grape Day, so I had to go buy some grapes. It is also National Grape Popsicle Day.
That's not on my list. I never knew that one.
Yeah. So what's on your list, Rebel? Because there's another very important day today, and I want to see how well you did the research in Louisiana.
All right. On my list, it says Amnesty International Day. I can't even say that one. I'm not going to go there. International
No,
Hamburger
I
Day.
want you to say it. I want you to say it. Say the one you say you can't say. Go ahead.
Ascension of Baha'u'llah.
Okay,
Anyway.
next.
International Hamburger Day, International Beef Burger Day.
That's
National
what it is. Okay. Hamburger Day. I've been flooded with emails from Habit Burger. You have a BOGO Charburger today because of National Hamburger Day. Go on, Rebel.
National Beef Burger Day, National Brisket Day, National Senior Health and Fitness Day.
Now, wait a minute. Beef burger and hamburger. Okay. Are we trying to say that hamburgers really are supposed to be made out of ham?
I don't know what they're
Because
trying
a
to
hamburger is a beef burger. Unless you're talking about
here's
something
what I
say. Be a
have.
turkey burger.
Wait, it could that turkey is not beef, you dingbat.
It's a National Hamburger
God.
Day, National Beef Burger Day. So maybe they're separating the ham.
No, I
burger
think
from
they're
the other
talking
one.
something sexual, to be honest. Okay.
Here's
Just
what I
saying.
have on my research. It says National Hamburger Day, National Brisket Day, and then World Hunger Day, which I think is cruel that they put it all in one day.
That makes so much sense.
Go hungry if you don't eat meat, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's National Hunger Day, so like, why would they put the
I'm
National
hungry.
Hamburger Day and National Brisket Day on that same day?
I'm hungry too. I was gonna eat lunch before the show, and then Juan just started talking to me, and then I look, I'm like, fuck, now I just gotta do the show.
Oh man, we have 4 minutes.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a little more than 4 minutes because I want to talk more about punk rock bowling. And it was absolutely, I was in shock. It was amazing. Not part of punk rock bowling, but down there in the downtown Las Vegas. You know who played for free on Fremont Street?
Hinder.
Hinder. Go ahead. Drowning Pool, Saliva, and Alien Ant Farm.
I only
was
know
like-
Hinder.
I was like, that is so cool. Like, it's like, oh, I'm done with this festival. Let's go see this. But anyway, yeah, I always love punk rock bowling. It's one of my favorite festivals because it's so cool. It just overtakes downtown Las Vegas, and you have 2 stages, but then you have all these club shows, which are really cool. You know, and all these bands playing the club shows. They have the punk rock karaoke, which is a big staple. They have the bowling tournament. They have the poker tournament. And then, you know, I was also at an after show at the Hogs and Heifers Saloon. Unfortunately, it's going to be closing down, so it won't be there next year. But they help out Punk Rock Saves Lives. So you show up to this show. All you do is you give a $20 donation, not a ticket price, a donation for Punk Rock Saves Lives. And then you get to see killer bands, one of which we interviewed, which is a super group. It was Ultra Bomb. Oh my God. And they were so fucking good, but they were so killer. Wait till you hear the interview. Okay. So you have from Husker Du, which is one of the famous punk bands from way back in the day, end of the 70s, 80s. You have somebody from Collective Soul, and you have the original drummer of Social D, who also headlined the festival, Social Distortion. So what a badass band. And let me tell you something, what I love about the punk rock festivals is they show you just how badass women are, because there's more and more punk bands that are girls. And man, they are so badass. There's one I'm interviewing tonight. They're the Hot Patooties. And they were so good. And then there's this other band that was playing, Babe Haven. Oh my God, they're like one of my favorite bands now. I love female bands because they got so much emotion and so much passion. And they are like the epitome of punk rockers in my opinion. It was just such a great event. There were a lot of shenanigans, not a lot of sleep. I did, however, win money this time. I got to take a withdrawal from Las Vegas. So what happened is the first day I lost $60, but I was by myself. And then my partner in crime for the festival showed up the next day, and 3 days in a row, I won. So it just shows that Lady Luck is true. Except when it came to my first wife, thing one. So yeah, okay. But anyway, how how badly late am I anyway? Oh no, I'm
Right on time.
I'm doing great. I'm gonna still do a couple extra minutes because I got stuff to talk about. But I mean, yeah, it was such a fun time. And here's the most fun part of all. Wait for it. I think everybody's been waiting the whole show for this. And before I say this, I'm gonna say I finally have some time off, a couple weeks. Maybe I can breathe. Maybe I can get some sleep and do it all over again. Because then the Pipeman heads on to the other side of the pond for Download Festival in the UK. Then I'm going, like I have 2 days off between Download and Hellfest in France. Oh, I love Hellfest. And I already have interviews booked for both those festivals, but there's 2 days off. So what does the Pipeman do? I could hang in London. I could hang in France. No, I'm going to another fucking continent for 2 days. I'm going to Marrakesh, Morocco for 2 days in Africa. So, like, who does that? The Pipeman does that.
Like, you're gonna need some shots for that one.
Yeah, yeah, I already got those shots and it didn't work. But anyway, so the thing is, that's gonna be killer. But here was the most killer thing. They have every day the punk rock pool party, the punk rock swim, where they have bands playing and you're at the pool on the hotel. Well, here's what was great. My hotel room was directly over that. So I didn't even have to leave my room, although I did, to see the punk rock swim or hear it. Even the ones that were late at night, it was so cool. Like you could be up at 2, 3 in the morning and hear the punk rock swim pool party going on. Okay?
You didn't try to jump from your balcony to the pool again, did you?
The windows don't open, or else I would have. But here's the thing is that I got to go in there and do the circle pit. So it's so funny. You guys will have to look on my socials. I'll post some of that. But they have a circle pit in the pool. And it's so much fun. And there are some requirements in the circle pit in the pool. One is there have to be inflatable bananas. There have to be inflatable aliens. There's tubes. And then there's the inflatable sex doll, which is the most active part of the circle pit.
Oh my.
I hope it's not in the way it was intended.
It may have been.
It might be. Okay. Everybody in the pit took a shot. But anyway, so, and here I was in the interrupter circle pit, which was so much fun, except at one point, and when it got dark, I was in the midst of like mayhem and lost my shoe. One shoe.
Wait, you had a shoe on in the pool?
No, in the regular pit at the festival.
Oh, okay.
He lost the shoe Cinderella style.
Yeah, and so, well, it kind of did happen that way though, Juan, because what happened was, so then like I'm trying to get myself out of the pit before somebody steps on my foot, okay? And I thought I was successful till the next morning when I took a shower and saw the big bruise on my foot. Oh. But, basically, and then I'm standing on the outside of the pit just trying to look for it because I'm not walking back in the pit with no shoe on because that could hurt. Obviously, by the shower the next morning, we found that out. And so
the next morning to find out.
I see this dude pick up a shoe and I go run over and I'm like looking at it. I'm like, oh, it's not mine. I gave it back to him. And then this girl comes up to me and she goes, I saw your shoe. Here it is, Juan. I saw your shoe. I'm like, wow. And she goes, it's over there. Here, I'll go get it for you. And she went over and then things calmed down a little. So I walked over towards her because she didn't come back. And she's like, it was here. I can't find out. And then she found it. It was somewhere else because it travels throughout the pit. Once it's off your foot, it's traveling throughout the pit. Sometimes it'll fly up in the air. Maybe it'll fly out in the crowd. That's why I was worried about that. Somebody would pick it up and just fly it out into the crowd. But I did get back my shoe.
Thank goodness.
And was able to come home and do this show today live on W4CY radio with both shoes. And man, you guys are going to have to tune in next week for more shit because there's a lot more shenanigans to talk about and a lot more coming up on the Pipeman Radio Tour. Make sure to follow me on all socials because guess what? I am going to have a contest coming up this week. You're going to have to look on my socials where it might even already be there. It might already be there. You have to find it. It's like in a Jeep, you have an egg. There's things you can find in a Jeep. You're going to need to find something, and you're going to win tickets to either Louder Than Life or Aftershock later on in the year. Meanwhile, let's get rid of Swamp Douche and Studio Nut. You never changed her name, Juan. You were going to do that.
I changed it back.
Oh, she changed it back. You should have blocked her from doing that. But anyway, everybody, thanks for listening. Stay tuned for all the rest of the shows on W4CY Radio. Tune back in. Tune into my socials. And let's see what else is going to happen. Now I'm going to go get another shot. I'm going to get a happy shot now. Imagine how fucking happy I'll be after a happy shot. I'm already fucking happy. And already, she said energy. Look at this energy. And I'm going to get an energy shot. I love it.
Yeah, maybe I need one too.
I think you definitely need one, okay? And Rebel, she needs a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Roll it, Juan.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.